Good morning, Literary Arts 8th students with Mr. Orth. This video is going to be just to help explain what the research project is about. You already have the document linked for you in Schoology, as well as the Google form for today, March 31st assignment, where you indicate what your actual project is going to be about. I do recommend watching this video thoroughly just to make sure you get some clarity, and absolutely please email me with your questions or concerns before you fill out the topic form, so you don't have to go back and do things twice. To go over some information, you are going to be doing a research project. And let's be clear, it's a research paper. If we're going to maximize our time for the rest of the year, then we have to focus on what we need to do most that helps prepare you for whatever comes next. And this is an opportunity to work on yourself as a writer, as well as a researcher. So your research project is going to end up being a 2-page research paper. The first paragraph talks about the skills that you need that this project can help you with. The next paragraph talks about how basically we're assuming that you're going to make 25 minutes of productive time each school day for every activity here. Some, like today, may take less if you're really decisive on a project topic. Some might take more if you can't decide. If you're going to let yourself be distracted by things around you, it's always going to take more time. And so you have to be ready to understand that if you are going to let yourself be distracted, if you're going to spread things out, it's going to take more time. But 25 minutes productively is all it should take each day. Today's most important topic is the topic. So for your work, you need to write a paper which synthesizes information from multiple credible sources. Translation, you got to pull information from several sources, put it together in a new way that makes sense, and it will end up being in your own words. Those are things that most of you have done before on some level, but maybe not at the way that gets you ready for high school, which is truly what's next for you. Most students, the mistake they make is they try to pick a topic that's too broad. If someone else could write an entire book on your topic, then what's the value in you doing only 2 pages on it? It's an overview, it's selected, it's only part of it. If it's a whole book, maybe you're focused on a particular chapter. Or even better, you're writing about something that someone has not put together yet. Maybe it's making connection, maybe it's focusing on just one part of it that requires you to pull information from multiple sources into your new paper or project. For example, let's say you want to research an entire historical event, Civil War, World War II, the Holocaust, Vietnam War, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Well, instead of trying to do all of that in 2 pages, maybe you just focus on the causes of that event or the effects of it, what led to it, what resulted from it. Or you focused on just one side of the conflict rather than trying to talk about everybody involved. Maybe it's just one country's role or one state's role. Maybe you compare and contrast that event with a second event, like something current. There are a number of things happening right now that if you pay attention to the news, they're talking about things that happened earlier, like earlier pandemics, earlier diseases, responses to disease, what previous presidential administrations have done, what's happening in other countries. So you might compare things. I do want you to think about doing things that are current, but you might not find enough information on that because, quite honestly, we don't know enough about that yet. Only history will know what we have. Please make sure you're not doing a full biography, autobiography. You can't do it well in 2 pages. Your lives are relatively short compared to historical figures, and you could not cover your own life well in 2 pages. What makes you think you can cover an entire person's life who lived to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years of age in 2 pages? Short? You can't. Also, no 2 students in this class are permitted to research the same narrowed research topic. You both can do, for example, the internet, but you can't both do it thoroughly and fully. So you've got to narrow that down. What do you want to do with that? If one of you takes one person who helped build it, if one person who adapted it, that could work. Overall requirements. It's not really your concern for today, but it kind of gives you a big picture. You're going to have at least 3 reliable sources, 3 credible sources, including one from a database. And yep, I'm going to teach you all about how to do that effectively without simply relying on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is going to be fine for the activity we do on Thursday, but you can't include any information from that. So if that's the only place you find information, you need to figure out a different topic or figure out how to find more stuff. You're going to end up having at least 15 pieces of information from those sources. You may not actually end up using all of it in your paper, but 15 is a good round number. And yes, as you start gathering information next week, I'm going to remind you to record the page number or paragraphs for each piece of information. You're going to have to use what's called MLA format for a works cited page in text citations. And of course, you got to cite your sources in the essay and the works cited page to make sure no one claims that you just copied and pasted from the internet. This next part here goes over all the steps in the process. All you need to worry about today is the Google form and then thesis statement, which is going to be due on Friday after I explain it to you on Thursday. Every activity you've got here has at least 1 day of instruction before you have to do anything with it. Following that, there's a full checklist. Only thing that matters today is on that Google form, what's the topic you selected? But as you're thinking about that, can you develop an additional 3 subtopics on the topic? Meaning, can you break it down in some way? Otherwise, you're just staring at it saying, I don't know what to do. Your subtopics, think of those kind of like keywords. Is your topic narrow enough to create a clear and concise 2-page essay? If you think it's still going to be something where you can find articles upon articles that are more than 2 pages long on it, it's probably too big. But it might be an okay place to start because likely you're going to revise your topic once you start finding information. In fact, you might revise that as early as Thursday. Is your topic researchable? Meaning it's a cool idea and you can find blogs and social media posts on it, but can you actually find articles, worthwhile articles, not just random rants by people who think they're experts or just like it a lot? And are your sources reliable? We'll talk about that, meaning credible is believable. Reliable means you can actually base your information on that. Everything else you see in the project description here, it's later. But a lot of people like to know what they're getting into before they begin. Please go ahead and take a moment, reread the document, email me your questions before you fill out the Google form. You got this, and I've got you. Have a great day.